So Judge Scott Mcafee made a ruling on if Fannie Willis's DA office will be removed from Donald Trump's court case. That was a lot. Let's talk about it.
Oh, it's good. Good and terrible.
I love Brotha T.
How you doing? This is Terrion Wilson, aka yo boy Brotha T, here with another one. So I'd like to thank you and welcome to the new life tree, where we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom for your motivation and mental health. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Now remember, I don't know everything, but I might know a lot of things.
Boom.
Yeah.
So today we're gonna talk about Fannie Lewis. I keep saying Fannie Lewis. It's Fannie Willis. I don't know what I said in the intro. I might have said Lewis, but I don't know. I don't know why I do that. Okay, so we're talking about Fannie Willis. I did it correctly, so leave me alone. Now, so what is the case involving? If you missed the details of how this motion even came about, you might want to watch the other video I made on it. But today we're just going to talk about Scott Mcafee's ruling. So what happens? So some of the defense attorneys, as you know, the original case against Donald Trump and his co-defendants came about because Donald Trump was trying to say that he actually might have won the election in the state of Georgia, and he contacted a few people on the phone, and so he got charges, him and some co-defendants, like a collusion charge, RICO, whatever you want to call it, a bunch of co-defendants. Now, some of their lawyers brought up the fact that Fannie Willis might have had a conflict of interest because she may have benefited from kickbacks. The guy who worked for the DA's office as an independent, contractor, basically, they say that he was in a romantic affair, or they alleged that he was in a romantic affair with Fannie Willis, and she benefited from this because they went on lavish trips and he spent money on her, which is actually against the rules when you're a public figure and you're dealing with taxpayer dollars and the people and your constituents, and you're paying somebody and you actually get gifts back. It's against the law. Just think about it. It makes sense that's against the law. So eventually Fannie Willis admitted to the affair. She said, we had the affair. However, I did not benefit because I paid my own way. Whenever we went on trips, I paid half, but I paid them in cash. Don't ask. But I paid them in cash because I keep a bunch of cash in the house, stuff like that. And that's pretty much where we were. So how did the judge come to this decision? Now, I have my opinions, but the judge pretty much, in a legal sense, they like to use the example split the baby. And if you don't know the story, King Solomon, because there was a dispute over a child, he said, hey, I'm going to split this baby in half and give half to you, half to you. And the person that said, hey, no, I don't want that to happen, that was the person that King Solomon was trying to expose as the person that had the real heart, basically. You can correct me later and talk about me, but I know I'm close with it. So in a legal sense, what Scott Mcafee put on the table was he was not going to remove Fannie Willis in her office necessarily off of the original Trump case. However, it was a condition to it. He won't remove them off the case if Nathan Wade resigns, or Nathan Wade can stay on the case as the special prosecutor, and Fannie Willis's office can resign. Well, we all know what's going to happen with that, right? Because you have a person above you. Of course, the person above you is not going to take the fall on that one. So, a few hours after that ruling from the judge, Nathan Wade dropped out, meaning Fannie Willis will be able to continue the case against Trump and his co-defendants in that RICO case for allegedly trying to steal the Georgia election, or the Georgia, electors. So how do I feel about it personally? Before I make myself clear, and you might be mad about me for having this opinion, I want to make something perfectly clear. I am, as far as politically, I don't really take a side. I'm more of a moderate. Okay. A lot of people don't know this about me, and I am going to tell you, I don't care if you get mad. So I'm neither what you call a liberal or conservative. I'm like right there in the middle. I kind of hate both sides. I shouldn't say hate. That's such a strong word, but I have problems with both sides. At the same time, I see the angle which both sides come from in terms of what they do and why they do it. So I don't totally disregard them, but I'm very harsh on politicians because I think it's the one place where you can absolutely lie all the time and actually be rewarded for it. And sometimes lawyers. But that's another story for another time. How do I feel about this case? I need to make that clear before I gave you my actual opinion. I believe that Fannie Willis's office should have been removed off of the Trump case. Now, that's why it was important for me to lay that foundation on me being more of a moderate, because I'm not necessarily a Trump fan either. If he did something wrong there and you can prove it, then of course, let's go for it. Now, I feel a certain way about taking a president to court, but that's weird. But with that said, if something's there, then hey, present your case and live with that. So I really do think her office should have been removed off of there. Why do I believe this? I believe this because there was absolutely enough evidence, in my opinion, that there may have been some impropriety going on. It didn't seem right. There was a lot of things with that evidence that was off, including the special prosecutor, who doesn't work directly for the DA office but working on contract, is the man that you're having an affair with. You may or may not have had an affair with him since 2019, but we know for sure at least since 2022. And then you put him in position in the most important case of your lifetime, and when you put him in that position to be the head prosecutor, he had never prosecuted that kind of case. He's never prosecuted a RICO case. He's done misdemeanors. He worked in as a circuit court judge, I believe, and things like that. But he's never prosecuted that type of case. And you were paying him more than anybody in your office or close to your office, or more than what you even earn to do this. It made no sense. And then you went on lavish trips with him, and you're not going to convince me, if he made almost double what you made in a year, that you're not going to let him pay for some things. It doesn't make sense to me, and it doesn't look well at all. So you would say, well, why would the judge, make that ruling the way he made it? Once again, this is my opinion, okay? These are opinions right now. I believe that the judge made that opinion so he doesn't totally look biased on either side. If he makes that ruling, it appears to the defense that hey, or it gives the look like, hey, I'm not totally on their side, because I gave him the ultimatum. I did admonish her. He did in his ruling. He told her she was unprofessional, and it was an apparent there was a what's the word I'm looking for? there was an appearance of impropriety there. It looked like it was bad, right? So, it looked to the defense, it may have looked like, oh yeah, well, he's not totally just being biased. And then the other side, it looks like you're not being biased as well, because you're not taking everybody off the case. You're giving them an ultimatum, and so he stays in there. And then he has an election coming up, so you really don't want to piss anybody off. Another thing about politics I do not like. So that's why, in my opinion, he could make that kind of ruling and get away with it. At the end of the day, what's going to happen to the Donald Trump case? What's going to happen with this? I don't know, because we still have a case to hear when it comes to that. He did throw out some of the counts against Donald Trump and the co-defendants, on a legal basis. He was saying that some of the prosecution was, they had not met the burden of proof for those, counts. So he threw some of the counts out. And so, Judge, I'm not going to give him I'm not going to give him an F and fail him out of class, right? He's not a totally bad person. I think he was a little slick in the way he did it, because the way he did it, he doesn't take the full hit, right? If he removes Fannie off that case and Nathan Wade, now people on that side come against him and say, oh man, he's terrible. You get what I'm saying? He left her in place, but he did set her up to get knocked down by other entities. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, read his ruling and you'll know what I'm saying. He put stuff in there that say, hey, this is not good. This is not good. This is not good. Now, other government entities can look into these things now. It's open. So he left it for everybody else to do it. So she might still get dragged. And we did not talk about nor address the fact that her and Nathan Wade, and this is not alleged, we have the proof that they were at the White House. Now, the meeting with the vice president is alleged, because we don't know who they met with, but we know they were there for hours at a time. And there was an alleged meeting with the vice president. This information has not been discussed in that case. So what's going to happen? I don't know. So I'm just going to wait just like you, and I'm just going to enjoy the fireworks. I'm telling you, you can't write this stuff in a book, though. This stuff is kind of exciting, and you don't know what's going to happen next. So this is your man, Brotha T. I'll keep my eye on it, and peace.